From spinning propellers to invisible hunters, fighter jets have rewritten the rules of war in the skies. Each generation brought more speed, more power, and less warning. From dogfights you could see to enemies you never will. This is how fighter jets evolved to rule the skies. Fighter aircraft are commonly grouped into generations, with each era reflecting a major shift in how air combat is fought. Some analysts also refer to a Generation Zero, representing the great powers before the jet age. Before and during the Second World War, nearly all fighters were powered by piston-driven propellers. These aircraft were relatively small and light, and combat relied almost entirely on machine guns and cannons. Air battles were fought at close range, where pilot skill and maneuverability were decisive. Iconic aircraft of this pre-jet era included the Supermarine Spitfire, Messerschmitt Bf 109, P-51 Mustang, Mitsubishi A6M0, and Yak 3. As the war came to an end, aviation entered a transitional phase. Experimental designs appeared, including rocket-powered aircraft and early jet fighters with straight wings. Despite these innovations, traditional dogfighting remained central, and agility continued to matter more than raw speed. The skies of this era were dominated by aircraft from Germany, Britain, the United States, the Soviet Union, and Japan. The first generation of jet fighters marked the beginning of the jet era in the late 1940s and early 1950s. These aircraft introduced basic turbojet engines and early swept-wing designs, offering a dramatic increase in speed compared to propeller-driven fighters. Pilots still depended on simple gun sights and manual aiming systems inherited from earlier aircraft. Weapons were usually limited to cannons, as air-to-air missiles were either unavailable or unreliable. While fast, these fighters remained mechanically basic, often lacking pressurized cockpits or advanced flight assistance systems. Famous examples from this era include the Messerschmitt Me 262, Gloucester Meteor, F-86 Sabre, and MiG-15. This period also saw the opening phase of intense competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, a rivalry that intensified during the Korean War. The second generation emerged in the 1950s and represented a significant technological leap, shaped heavily by lessons from Korea. Swept wings became universal, allowing aircraft to reach and sustain supersonic speeds. These were the first fighters designed specifically to operate beyond the sound barrier. Radar systems were integrated into the airframe and guided air-to-air missiles, including semi-active radar homing weapons, became the primary armament. This shift allowed fighters to conduct interceptions in poor weather and at long range, reducing reliance on visual contact and gun combat. Aircraft from this era established the model for high-speed, missile-focused interception. Notable aircraft include the MiG-21, F-104 Starfighter, Mirage Through, and the English Electric Lightning. During the 1960s, fighter development focused on refining earlier innovations, driven largely by the realities of the Vietnam War. Avionics improved significantly, with more capable radar systems enhancing target detection and fire control. Fighters became genuinely multi-role, designed to perform air combat, interception, and ground attack within the same platform. Experience showed that early missiles were not always reliable, leading to the reintroduction of internal cannons for close-range engagements. This generation struck a balance between speed, missile technology, and maneuverability, recognizing that air combat remained unpredictable. Key examples include the F-4 Phantom II, MiG-23, Mirage F-1, and Saab Viggen. Fighters developed from the 1970s onwards introduced a major shift towards agility and digital systems. Fly-by-wire flight controls allowed aircraft to be aerodynamically unstable by design, dramatically improving maneuverability in combat. Advanced radar and fire control computers enabled look-down, shoot-down capability, allowing targets to be tracked against ground clutter. Design philosophy increasingly focused on energy maneuverability, ensuring pilots could maintain performance throughout extended engagements. Aircraft from this generation set the benchmark for modern air superiority by combining speed, range, agility, and multi-role flexibility. Iconic fourth-generation fighters include the F-15 Eagle, F-16 Fighting Falcon, MiG-29, Su-27, and Mirage 2000. Generation 4.5 refers to upgraded versions of proven fourth-generation fighters rather than entirely new designs. This category emerged in the 1990s as a more affordable alternative to full stealth aircraft. These fighters feature advanced electronic warfare systems, improved data links, modern radars, and better integration with other battlefield assets. Some are capable of supercruise, meaning sustained supersonic flight without afterburners, while others employ thrust vectoring to enhance agility. Although not fully stealthy, they significantly narrow the capability gap with fifth-generation aircraft. Well-known examples include the Eurofighter Typhoon, Dassault Rafale, F/A-18E, F Super Hornet, Su-35, and Gripen E. Fifth-generation fighters represent the current pinnacle of manned combat aviation. Their defining feature is low observability from all angles, achieved through airframe shaping, specialized materials, and internal weapons bays. Stealth is built into the design rather than added later. These aircraft function as networked combat systems, using advanced sensor fusion to combine radar, infrared, electronic, and off-board data into a single, real-time picture for the pilot. Weapons are carried internally to preserve stealth, allowing engagements to occur before the enemy is even aware of the threat. Leading examples include the F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning II, Chengdu J-20, and Su-57. The core concept is simple: detect first, strike first, and survive. Sixth-generation fighters remain in development, with operational service expected from the 2030s onwards. Rather than acting as standalone aircraft, they are expected to serve as command nodes within a wider combat network. A key feature is the ability to control groups of autonomous drones, often referred to as loyal wingmen. These aircraft are likely to be optionally manned, with pilots or remote operators overseeing missions supported by artificial intelligence. Future technologies may include AI-driven decision support, directed energy weapons such as lasers, and next-generation engines designed for both high speed and long range. Current programs associated with this future generation include the US NGAD initiative, Europe's FCAS, and the UK-led Tempest project. Stealth and electronic warfare capabilities are expected to go well beyond current standards, reflecting the growing complexity of future multi-domain warfare. From pilots fighting face-to-face to machines hunting targets they never see, each leap in technology has rewritten the rules of survival in the sky. And as drones, artificial intelligence, and sixth-generation fighters begin to blur the line between human and machine, one question now hangs over the future of air combat. Will the next generation still need a pilot at all?